What's going on? This is the man of the hour, Leo Rush, and you are now listening to Matt Madness Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast. We're back again, the Eck and A'Lo connection. Balo, Aaron Lloyd, myself, Eck to Fly, Eric Trimbicki. Aaron, how are you, my friend?
Tired. The ATM moniker that you gave me is really coming to fruition because the last 3 weeks been a blur. But like I told you, I live around the corner from where I record, so it's a lot more easier, and I don't have to take a ride anymore to get here. So I'm beat and I'm exhausted, but we're finally here.
You're now relocated, Lo.
Yes, I am relocated.
This is always a fun process, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, yep, and since the last time, it's been a few weeks since we've been back here on the show. Last time we ended the show, we were discussing some chatter on the early on with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and then a lot of busy life stuff has came for both Aaron and myself. So we do apologize for not being back sooner. However, we are here again. The tournament's over. I did promise on the last episode that we were going to be talking about the tournament at the open of the next show. We're here. We're delivering. The women's tournament ended at Double or Nothing just as well as the men's. The power couple, Britt Baker, DMD, Adam Cole, the leader of the Undisputed Elite. Both of them had their nice, beautiful moment with Martha Hart at Double or Nothing. They got their names engraved on the trophy, and they both get this Owen Hart Memorial Championship belt, which is in memory of this Canadian Stampede Wrestling World Title, I believe. It was the World Title, whichever one Owen held. Going off of that design. Aaron, I don't know how much of the tournament you got to see, or if you at least got to watch those finals matches for Double or Nothing. What was your thoughts?
I did watch the finals matches from Double or Nothing. Cole and Joe I thought was really good. Britt and Ruby was okay. But the tournament was definitely, like you talked about this, how tournaments mean something, and this actually being the first is actually I think will actually be remembered because there was a lot of ridiculousness in some of these matches. Like I caught the Jeff and Darby match, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy hell! Like they really went above and beyond in that match to advance in the tournament. I heard Chris Statlander, I think, and Ruby had a good match a couple weeks ago, and Britt and Tony Storm as well. So it's definitely going to be remembered for being the first. And I'm assuming this is going to be a yearly thing now. So the one thing AEW is going to do right is actually make these tournaments mean something.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I'm not sure. No, I did see Britt come out with the belt on Dynamite. So
and Adam came out earlier. He did commentary for the 10-man tag, and he came out with the belt for that.
Okay, so I'm curious to see how long they'll keep up with that, but definitely make it mean something. Like let them show it off and be reminded that they actually did win the tournament. And next year when it comes up, build it up the proper way. But I don't have any doubt that they'll do a good job actually building up this tournament, because that's one thing AEW does do better than WWE. They're going to make these certain things feel important, especially with the memory of Owen Hart and being the first year. So hope it continues. A lot of it was wild, and I can say like every match really did mean something.
Yeah, and piggyback up on that last statement. Every match meant something, and you could argue that some of the greatest matches from this tournament were matches to qualify to be in the tournament, which I think is so fun. I hope they do that next year, and there's always qualifying matches to get in there because, obviously they had the one joker per tournament, that one little surprise. But aside from that, 16, eight men. So what am I thinking? 16 people tried to qualify to make it to this tournament. Well, I guess technically 17 since it's a joker, then I have to compete against somebody. Either way, lot of fun. It's definitely going to be memorable. I was wondering the same thing if we were going to see the belts again, and then Adam Cole coming out with it to do commentary for the big 10-man tag. Jamie Hayter actually ran in to get the win. She used the bell, and then that ended up. That was after Ruby Soho did pin Britt Baker in the tag match tonight, but afterwards Jamie Hayter knocked both of them out with the title, and her and Britt, just kind of had their celebratory moment. But again, gives that belt to shine. So hats off, claps all around for the Owen Hart tournament. And I love it. AEW's got, kind of their little altered Owen Hart theme song now on Apple Music. I'm not saying I've been bumping it twice a day already, but
You have. Does Teen like it?
I don't think I've had it forced. She definitely heard it on the way back from the beach.
Okay.
She's been, that and the FTR song has been playing a little regularly in the car. So, yeah, I mean, she'll take it over listening to a podcast. She ain't big on hearing people just sitting around.
I'm sure.
Speaking of the Owen was two of several matches for Double or Nothing. Would like to do a full review on the show. However, we didn't really preview it, so I'm going to go off some highlights on it. And, more or less, I'm going to swing it on over to Fink real quick. Give us our rating system.
Come on in, Howard.
Again, we always appreciate you sliding in, giving us the guest appearance. Aaron, I gotta run with it and give my opinion first. The show was a showstopper. All right. Look,
I'm surprised.
AEW gives. Was it sarcasm?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, AEW. I get it. This was a long show, well over 4 hours. However,
stop it. You got to give it longer than that.
Longer? Well, I think it was 4 hours 40 minutes.
Was it like 6 hours?
No, I don't think so. Maybe with the pre-show.
Maybe with the pre-show. Okay, because I remember when I was moving, and it's like 12:30. I'm like, this shit ain't over yet.
Yeah. So my
you're right. You were right. 4.5. I'm sorry, but pre-show it is 6. So that's my fault. But it's like this shit is still on.
My viewing was very weird. So I was at the beach for the holiday weekend, and I was pretty boozy by the time I was trying to order it. And for some reason, due to the TV I was using, someone else's Amazon account was hooked up to it, so it wasn't really letting me verify on my phone. So I'm trying for about 20 minutes during the buy-in. So I don't get to order it. I think I got to watch the buy-in match. I got to see the Nice and Sterling versus Hookhausen. But I'm trying to order it. It's not working. I get about 40 minutes into the show. I eventually just buy it on my laptop. So I'm starting a little behind, trying to catch up on it, and I'm watching it on my laptop. So eventually I get a few matches in. But again, I'm been out in the sun all day. I'm pretty tuned up. So I bring the laptop up to my room. Valentine and I both pass out, and all right, cool. I gotta watch this show. I throw my phone on a charger. I go back downstairs. I start watching, and again, I get all the way to maybe the last 3 matches. I fall asleep. I wake back up. I rewind it. I watch 2 more matches. I fall asleep. All I know is you want to say this shit's still going on. I put it back on. The sun's coming up. I fell asleep 3 different times, and I did not get to completely watch the main event, but I got to hear. Literally, I don't have my eyes open, but I just did not want to go to the group chat and hear any spoilers. I didn't want to go on Instagram. So I did get to hear Punk's music play. I did get to hear the announcement that he was the new world champion. Later on Monday, probably mid-afternoon, I did get to watch the match back. Thoroughly enjoyable. Great match. World title means something. Shout out to Hangman. Unfortunately for him, out of the first 4 AEW World Champions, he did have the shortest reign. He did have some banger matches. 2 bangers with Adam Cole. 2 bangers with Daniel Bryan. An insane Texas death match. Out of the first 4 champions, first 2 former WWE World Champions, the third former New Japan World Champion. Hangman Adam Page's first singles title. Shout out to him. great world champion. I can't wait to see him win it again one day. But 11 years later, Summer of Punk about to pick up again. CM Punk's the new AEW World Champion. We're going straight to the main event from the tournament. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm going to freeze my rating because, as you know, I didn't finish the show completely because of my move. So, I said the Owen Hart tournament I did appreciate. Warlow and MJF, it was what it had to be. Everybody's complaining about it, but I think it was what it kind of had to be because MJF's been running from Warlow this entire time, so it kind of had that the way Warlow won.
And
was
it
the way
didn't even hurt him.
Yeah, it didn't because he's this shit heel, and he's been egging this dude on for how long? And you're trying to build Warlow up, and Warlow's a star, by the way. Batista, Warlow's a star. A match I want to go back and watch is the Hardys and Bucks. Because I heard that match was not good.
Huh.
I've heard reviews say, a lot of people saying that match is not good. I heard a lot about the tag.
That was one. Not to cut you off, I just think it may have been one of those. I may have been tired and there was nothing on the line, so I really didn't get to absorb it too much. But I don't necessarily remember a complaint.
Okay, and I also heard that the tag title match was good. I'm shocked Jurassic Express is still the tag team champions. Christian has to just turn on them already.
I don't know how that hasn't happened yet. I sense it every day. Matt Hardy was consoling Jungle Boy after the 10-man tag after they lost.
Okay, so it's
coming. And then Christian came and shoved Matt Hardy and then pulled Jurassic Express out of the ring. So you would think it is coming. It was one of those, and again, we didn't get to preview the show, and I'm sorry to cut you off on it. The match was awesome. Okay. It was good. It was one of those unfortunates where it's like, the match was so good, I'm not into Jurassic Express. Oh, man, and did I want Hobbs and Starks to win so bad. Starks with 2 straps?
Speaking of straps, because last week I was prepared to preview the show. So, you sent in the group text this morning, does A'Lo love the Lakers-inspired TNT title? I said, I love it. Nothing like a gold strap. But the caca around it is like, huh? Like, what is going on with Scorpio Sky and Ty? I thought Sammy and Ty were heel, and then I saw that Scorpio Sky beat Frankie and turned on Frankie, and now Sammy and Ty are face.
So, this is a very, very complicated. It's not black and white. And a lot of the AEW storylines are not black and white, which I can really appreciate. I don't think they're going to get enough credit for what they did. Scorpio Sky wins the TNT title as a heel and gets major babyface reaction. Not just winning it, but the following week. And then I think they scurried and they got the belt off him. And then now, whoa, Sammy's got nuclear X-Pac heat. Go away. Get out of here. They can't stand him. They hate his relationship. The guy screwed himself. He proposed to his civilian girlfriend on TV when Dynamite starts. Cheats on her with the hot Brazilian colleague. And then thinks that the fans are just like, he's going to be beloved. It doesn't make sense. Frankie Kazarian, a veteran wrestler, first AEW tag champion, AEW day oneer, it was brilliant. They had Scorpio Sky and him had the mutual respect. Scorpio Sky would have these babyface moments where he was paying respect to his old tag partner, and then he turned on him.
I didn't see that.
Chose America's top team. So it defined that they're the heels. So they put Kazarian with Sammy to try to get Sammy back babyface. But it doesn't make sense. So they've been destroying cars left and right. They destroyed the regular TNT title, which
saw that.
So that way Dan Lambert could get the Lakers TNT title made for Scorpio Sky. This is where it gets a little wishy-wash. Really cool, and I almost wish Prep was here to see if, because I'm sure this is sacrilegious to some, but Frankie Kazarian comes out with a UFC championship belt that they stole from America's Top Team. Then Scorpio,
Ty
and Sammy come out with UFC belts as well. So, like, Frankie Kazarian doing it, who's, like, babyface, like, that's kind of cool, man. Like, we have a UFC belt on AEW and is stolen. And he's like, wow, that's really cool. 30 seconds later, next entrance. They come out in this corny cosplay, like, as if they're the devils.
Oh, the Maleficent.
They're supposed to be babyface. They dress up as devils. They have stolen belts. So they lose the match. Now, the good thing is, the feud's over.
Thank
Frankie
God.
Kazarian and Sammy Guevara can never challenge Scorpio Sky for the TNT title again. So they didn't go full Cody gimmick. They did not explain it well enough up front. They said they could never challenge for it. It was right after they lost where they said they can never challenge Scorpio Sky again. So, one day, if Scorpio Sky loses, they could challenge whoever. But cool. This way it gets Frankie away from Scorpio. They had a good little feud there for a few weeks. Sammy Guevara has been around the TNT title for, it feels like 7 years, probably 8 or 10 months. Cool, let's get him the hell away from it. Go put him on Dark. I've had enough of him for a little while.
Okay. And, so...
Actually, a good match. Paige Van Zandt's debut. Put her on the screen. All they want. Love her.
Yeah, so that was, like, real strange to me, because that whole time I was like, huh? Like, I'm keeping up with it. I'm like, what is this? Why is this happening? But that's that. The Anarchy Rules match, a mess, but I loved it. Wild Thing playing. Yeah, Wild Thing playing for like a quarter of the match. I loved it, and it was perfect that Jericho destroyed the speaker. Loved that. The whole shot at Kingston coming down, trying to put Jericho on fire. It was an amazing sight. It was a complete mess. I did enjoy that. And then the main event, I did enjoy the main event. I also thought that, I think that I'm interested to see where they go, because we saw that Punk's going to face Tanahashi, right, at Forbidden Door.
Yes.
Okay, so he's going to face Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. I'm interested to see where they go at Hangman now, if they're going to keep this thing with Punk going, because
rumor is he's gonna challenge Okada for the IWGP title at Forbidden.
Well, I meant post Forbidden Door, because
sure.
So like I believe Fyter Fest. I'm not sure if that's replacing. I'm not sure if they're gonna have a Fyter Fest or whatever this year, but maybe when they're Thean Dynamite, they'll build towards Hangman and Punk again, because like during that build up, I think it was like one of the go home shows, either on Dynamite or Rampage, that Paige said that I'm trying to protect AEW from you. I'm trying to protect AEW from Punk. And that's an interesting line, because we all know in real life Punk's kind of an asshole, and Hangman is an AEW original, and we talked about who's going to turn heel, Hangman or Punk, in this whole situation, and it's clearly that it's actually going to be Punk, because with Hangman hesitating in the match to beat Punk, and we'll hit him with the belt in order to beat him and try to beat him clean. So it's kind of clear that Punk's going to be the guy to turn heel, and that's kind of what the best bet here is, because Eric Bischoff has made headlines again. A lot of times when it comes to what Eric Bischoff has to say about AEW, as far as a television show trying to grow ratings, I agree with him. Just because the ratings aren't great doesn't mean that your show's not better than something else. So as far as like growing the show, and he talked about Punk being like not a good investment. So now they're going to see if the investment's going to pay off now. Because hey, Punk's the champion. When he's on the undercard, fine. But now everybody's going to see CM Punk in the media as champion. He's going to be doing the interviews. He's going to be making the rounds. So we'll actually see where that goes. So I'm interested to see how CM Punk is booked as the world champion, and if he does end up turning heel on Paige. And is him and FTR officially a thing?
No, I don't think so. So they seem. My guess is they're like became real life friends. They're Bret Hart marks.
Yep.
They love wrestling, so it seems like that's just kind of what they got going on. Punk has had fun wrestling them, whether it be the tag matches that they had, against FTR or his singles matches against Dax. So I just kind of think that's the pairing that they got going on. With Punk though, I got a lot of rebuttal back to what you said. Starting off, well, I got to quote Money Mark Tony Khan. He disputed everything that Eric Bischoff said.
I saw that
in the post media scrum, and has got all these stats on Punk doing this, which is led to Money. Punk doing this, the biggest buy, this, the biggest. And guess what? Double or Nothing, the main event. Punk wins the world title, and it is the largest venue that they did for an AEW show, and it was their first show where the gate made over $1 million. So 3 years in, breaking records, Punk's in the main event. I've defended Bischoff many times on this show. However, I can't really agree with everything he's saying. Aside from that, typically AEW, when the belt changes, there's typically not a rematch right away. Jericho lost to Moxley. We never got a rematch. Moxley lost to Kenny. We never got a rematch. Kenny lost to Hangman. We lost Kenny. So I do foresee there being a rematch due to this feud, but I don't see it. It's definitely not going to be his first match up. Obviously, we got Forbidden Door, but I would see him almost defending it on like another Dynamite, and I don't see it being Hangman. It seems like I think everybody loves the logic of making Punk a heel, but a lot of times the vets, when you got these guys that are older and they're in the company, now aside from Jericho, typically they don't go heel. I think we're a year away from Punk's heel run. I think his thing is he wants to do a strong babyface run, and I think he's going to have his heart more in being a babyface than he ever has. He's always been good at being a heel. There's no doubt about it. I'll talk about it shortly. Past 15, 20 years, one of, if not the best heels that the company that pro wrestling has had. However, I just don't see him turning heel right now.
Now, I'm glad you did talk about the media scrum, because now Statman Tony makes a lot more sense to me. Now, when I quote Bischoff's comments, I'm not talking about as far as like the gates and stuff like that. That's fine. Like MJF said, Statman Tony, you can find a stat for anything. Mm-hmm. What Bischoff was saying has like the viewership and just the rated number. That's all. That's why I agree with. I'm not going into the stats because as far as like the ratings have kind of been the same or whatever. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes because like we'll see. Go ahead.
Speaking of stats, it's kind of a little sidebar, but one thing that cracks me up, this is definitely me being a Punk mark. Punk came back about 10 months ago, 9-10 months ago. I want to say this man has had easily, let's call it 15 matches.
I think he's 19-1. I think he's 19-1. I think it was.
Okay, that's probably all together with tag matches. I don't know if it was a full year, so let's call it 2 years prior. Or not 2 years prior, 2 years ago. Probably a little less. Christian returns. A flop, some would say, as far as his debut. A lot of people were praying that it would have been Punk. A Hall of Fame worthy talent, as Tony Khan calls it. And Christian comes out, signs his AEW contract, debuts his shirt, outwork everyone. He's been there for almost a year longer than Punk, and he's had less matches.
Yep.
Outwork this.
Poor Christian.
Hopefully he jobs out to Jungle Boy whenever they got that singles feud. But outside of that, another thing I got to get into in Double or Nothing, I would be remiss if I don't say it. We're talking mainly about AEW tonight, and, give AEW their flowers. They held strong during this 2 years of the COVID and all that mess. I will never forget Double or Nothing, October 2nd, 2019. I remember being live in DC, and I watched Pac's entrance. And Pac, and I just remember being, wow, this guy is a star. Unfortunately, COVID, he gets summoned to the Netherlands and is stuck there for months and months and months, right after the early formation of the Death Triangle. A couple injuries between Penta and Ray Phoenix and different storylines. Finally, we're getting a couple six-man tag matches, or trios tag matches, as they call them in AEW. We got the match, the Death Triangle versus the House of Black, and Julia Hart goes full heel, joins the House of Black, screws over Death Triangle, does the miss in Pac's face, and costs them the match. Despite the wonky finish, arguably, in my opinion, match of the night. The athleticism between these six individuals, bar none. Everything actually, and people always talk about Spot Fest, but every spot kind of made sense. It went with telling the story about the feud between the six men, and it was a barn burner, but a hell of a match. I think it's not that there's many matches that I think would be known for it. I think if you think back to 2014, like the Shield versus the Wyatt Family, Shield versus the Evolution, I'm thinking this has to be up there easily, like, top 5, top 6 trios tag matches of any time. It good in-ring work there.
I've heard that was probably, a lot of people said that was their match of the night.
Yeah, I definitely would say it was my match of the night. And it was one of those that I was, initially, as I'm getting ready to start fading, before I passed away the next match after, but I was trying to pay attention to it while trying to eat something, and I'm like, man, they're really giving it all. And when I went to go rewatch the full show and then do some skipping around, I gave that match my full attention. I'm like, damn, that's a good match. Anything else, Double or Nothing wise, that you got your thoughts on? And by the way, I give it a showstopper because, to my memory, all matches did deliver. Women's final, strictly speaking of the women, you get Paige Van Zant, get her debuting in a mixed tag match. You get a decent TBS championship match, a great women's championship match. Hats off to the women of the night. And then all these tag matches, whether it be the tag title matches, six-man tag, the arena Anarchy in the arena match, a lot of fun, a lot of chaos. And one thing I've said on this show many times, I believe, so four titles defended. Yeah. No, wait, more. Both women's titles, men's world title, the tag title.
Tags.
So I guess
Four.
It looks like 4 titles defended, and the world title changed. I always say another way to make a show mean something, and they make these title reigns mean something, but we're not getting a pay-per-view every month. So 4 times a year, we should be getting a title changing. At least one of them. They got 5 or 6 titles. So getting the world title change in the main, that was really what put it over to me, is where I was like, this is a showstopper. All the matches fun. We get some debuts. We get some craziness. And we got a world title change. Showstopper. It was earned. Shout out to TK, my favorite money mark. It's my boy. So, Aaron, if you got nothing else from Double or Nothing, one of the hottest things in the wrestling world right now, post Double or Nothing Dynamite this week, MJF came out and addressed the crowd after the 6-man tag. AEW World Champion and Ring of Honor Tag Champions. They won a 6-man tag match. MJF came out shortly after and put himself over. Talked about how good he is, and about how he doesn't want to be there, and about how he's unappreciated. And he's a heel being a heel. There's some people out there that are just going to say you may realize he's the baby face in this. Either way, he's trying to turn his back on the company. He's clearly the heel, but wow, that is a promo we are all going to be going back and rewatching. That is a promo like some of Ric Flair's 80s NWA promos and Dusty Rhodes, how wrestling fans like us go back and are revisiting and reliving those in 2022. In 2042, younger siblings and family members of ours and children of ours are going to be watching that promo. That's how good that was.
It's been a while since wrestling really made me smile, and that was beautiful. I couldn't have wrote it any better myself, because I felt he was speaking for me personally, because he hit on there's things that I've said on this show that he's hit on. There's so much realism to what he said, to everything that goes on in the company, and some certain how formulaic they are, and things that hit on the fans, and it just hit on so many levels, because like he even said this, and if you ever go back and listen to our shows, he is really the diamond of AEW in my opinion, because.
But and also, Pat, how lucky are we? That diamond we saw in the rough in the ECW arena many, many times, whether he was in the ring and cut a promo beforehand, or MJF playing manager role.
In the wrinkled suit.
In a wrinkled suit.
Yeah, and buying him cheesesteaks, but it's like...
Him hitting on the mother of my child.
So... Because if you go back and think about AEW, now me and you have opposing views about AEW stuff, but I think we can both come to an agreement that his feuds have been the best. Because for the last 2-3 years, when you talk about feud of the year, he has one or two in there, and that's saying a lot to have 2 feuds in 1 year as rated as a top feud. Because it's all great and it's all about storytelling, and nowadays, go ahead.
Not to cut you off, short thing. Company's been around 3 years. If you have to sum the company up, and this is a big ass number, but if I say find your best 10 feuds over 3 years, 4 of them are his. His feud with Cody, his feud with Jericho, his
Punk.
feud with Punk, and
Wardlow.
Yeah, with Wardlow.
Yeah, so. All his feuds have hit, and even he talked about it. And this is also like a lost art, especially nowadays, because he talked about just because I'm not going for star ratings or dropping somebody on his head, I'm not looking for.
Because I don't pretend I watch New Japan.
But that was great. I popped huge for that one too. It hit on so much truth, because nowadays, like, if we show kids that are like, let's say, 10 and 15, about to be teenagers, show them the Attitude Era stuff, from an in-ring perspective, they'll think The Rock sucks, they'll think Stone Cold sucks, they'll think Triple H sucks, they'll think Ric Flair sucks. They will. But the thing that's going to gravitate you towards them is their personality. Because how many times have we shit on The Rock? I was like, Rock, he was decent in the ring, but from today's standards, he's nowhere near those guys. And MJF is just an overall wrestler. He's not some guy that actually goes out, like he said, and drop people on their head all the damn time, try to pop the boys. I pop them with everything else I do. And he's right when he said nobody back there can really lace his boots. There are people that lace his boots, but he is... When I think of AEW, I think of MJF. I'm sorry. And I think he's been the most compelling person in that company. And then he hits on Tony Khan about the ex-WWE guys, because the formula with them is they get released or release whatever, and they come in, and then whatever happens with them, they might get relegated to dark, or so on and so forth. And then he hits on that. Will you treat me better if I was a WWE guy? Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, he's like, it's like, you don't want to pay me, but you want to pay these ex-WWE guys. I wish he said, you want to pay these ex-WWE guys that go on dark and nobody watches. I really wish he said that, but he didn't. Go ahead.
I mean, it was beautiful because he said that shortly after Rusev and John Morrison have a match.
Yeah, it was so perfect, and the fact is, like a lot of people were talking about him not showing the fan fest was a work. I'm like, if any company would sit there and give out sit there and do a work like that and give out refunds, it's fucking stupid. So he just didn't no-show the event because you had because you lost tons of thousands of dollars if you had to refund all those fans. But I'm interested to see where it goes. You know, Tony Khan.
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
Maybe it's a risk worth taking.
I don't think so. I don't.
So one thing I did hear, they did their best to try to accommodate the people and do a lot of exchanges. So those wrestlers are getting paid well when they're doing those things. And if you're telling me that they're just trying to try to, hey, sign this for this person because they had an MJF ticket and he's not here. I mean, if he no-showed it, he gets squashed, and then he comes out and drops a pipe bomb, I don't know. Smells a little workish to me.
It can't
either way. I'm eating it.
Yeah, and then they removed his profile from the AEW page, and all his merch is down from the website as well. So, and then it's just like the whole real. It's like when Punk cut his pipe bomb, we're like, oh my god, is this real? But this MJF one felt even more real because he's out there cursing and he's talking about all your executives are here. He's like he's banging Tony Khan to fire him and stuff. There's so much realism to it, and it was just perfect. It was beautiful. It was a work of art, and I watched it 3 times, and I kept smiling every time because it was so beautiful.
I sent it to a lot of casual fans because I was like, this is something that could catch some people.
Yeah, it was amazing, and oh god, it was so good. So I'm interested to see where they go from here with MJF. But I don't know if Tony Khan will fire him. I don't know how real this is.
No chance.
Yeah, I don't know how real this is, but the realism of that really hit home. And I couldn't wrote it anything.
I thought, and one thing I felt like a little tidbit, championship mark. If I'm correct, all right, I guess never mind. MJF, I think challenged Mox for the world title.
He did.
3 years in the company, a day oneer. TNT title, world title, tag titles. He's had one match for one championship in 3 years. I mean,
that's he did have a tag title match with Jericho.
Jericho has his partner. Oh, okay. All right, then never mind. I see why he wanted to run with that. I was about to say, I mean, he could have said, there are more people that get more opportunities than anyone, but, two championship opportunities in over 3 years. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know he's won that diamond ring, but that's really it.
Yeah, and like he said, he's the one that stands out because when it comes to AEW, there's only a few people that stand out to me. Well, let me say that. Let me say the ones I look forward to watching. I'm watching on a daily basis. It's him, Britt, and it was Cody at a point, and now Wardlow. I think Wardlow's fucking awesome.
So, I understand you said you think of MJF. And we all have our personal fandom. So, speaking of the Attitude Era, obviously, if you think of WWF when you're thinking of the Attitude Era, you think of Stone Cold, you think of The Rock. You get away from the Attitude Era for a long time. You think of WWE, you think of John Cena. Present day, you think of WWE, you got to be thinking Roman Reigns. Think AEW. Who is the flagship of the company?
Well, because looking at my all-in poster, you would think Cody and the Bucks, but I think as a whole package, the best person out that company has been MJF. Even though he hasn't won the title, I think he's been the best thing out that company.
I can see that. I didn't think of MJF, which does make sense, but also, why would you think of a heel? Obviously, I would think of Cody. Jericho, because he's, obviously he's really been away from the title picture. Hard to think of Jericho. Hangman would have been a great thought, but it doesn't really make sense. Short title reign. I do think Punk, 6 months from now, Punk's still champion, babyface run. It's gonna be Punk. Kenny Omega should have been that. Maybe with the injury kind of hurt it. You could argue right now Britt Baker's the face of the company.
Yeah, I'll throw her in there too because she's the second person that I look forward to on a weekly basis on AEW. And I did a pop for the All Friends Wrestling. Amazing. And he said when this company first started, it was All Friends Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because they were all friends. Pop for that.
Yep. And I did love him, and then everyone got an opportunity and he worked for us.
Mm-hmm.
Again, hats off to MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Maxwell Friedman, as he said, just, shooting from this hip. Amazing promo. Outside, so that, Dynamite, what else did we really get? Just, some build up. We do have a Blood and Guts match coming up at the end of the month. Another Blood and Guts special for Dynamite. You would assume it's going to be the same 10 people. Maybe they're going to shorten it and still go 4-on-4. But Jericho Appreciation Society versus Eddie Kingston and most likely Santana and Ortiz. You would think some guys from the Blackpool Combat Club. And it was cool. Regal got to go out there and make the announcement just like he used to do.
It won't be as good when he says War Games.
True, but it's still good homage. Good homage.
Oh, and one more thing about Double or Nothing before we move on. I love Jim Ross, but God, he's awful. I'm sorry, and I blame you. Because you sent me that TikTok of him cursing Triple H's name, and I cannot stop watching it because it is so good. The emotion that he has, of the hatred he has for him.
And that emotion is just not there no more?
No, it's just like he just chimes in at this point. It's like, it's nothing there.
I think that my only complaint with the commentary team is it just seems to me like there's just so much like weird, awkward heat. Like I just feel like Tony and Jim Ross are buddies and they're just kind of like roasting Excalibur the whole time. Richie will pop for you hating on Jim Ross. He can't stand it.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we all know
like,
he hates everything.
But I was like, this is glaringly like bad. Like, because I had like watched that TikTok like not too long before I watched the show, so I was like, God, like where's the emotion? But that damn you, God damn you, Triple H, you son of a bitch! To hear like, oh yeah, well look at Thunder Rosa. Yeah. It's like, come on, Jay.
Thunder Rosa is beautiful.
Terrible.
Well, I think we're all caught up on AEW. There's, speaking of blood and guts, they're gonna give us some shitty ass Hell in a Cell pay-per-view this week. I don't know nothing going on. I know Cody and Orton Cody and Rollins are gonna 23rd match. I don't care nothing about this. I'm not really watching. You got any thoughts about Hell in a Cell?
I'm just coming to see you. That's all.
That's it. I'm just gonna be sipping beer and staring at your eyes. That's pretty much it. Bailey, what else you got for the listeners at home?
What else do I have? So I talked about this the last time we were here. So I finally got this in the mail.
Hey, looking good.
Still don't know how I feel about this thing, but this is the best head scan on it.
Well, the listeners at home, it is the new Fan Central Triple H Ultimate.
Yeah, this is the best scan that it has. Like I said, the rest look like Silas Young, but I'm still up in there how I actually feel about this. This is the only way I'm gonna keep it.
I still want you to make a Silas Young custom.
Oh no, I don't like him that much. That's too much effort for me. But yeah. So I did get this. Like I said, I'm up in the air about it, but nice figure. Just I'm not in love with all the head scans, and I kind of feel like now they gotta make another Shawn to match it.
I won't complain.
I feel, but they got to do that. But that's all I have. And then we got big reveals this past weekend for AEW as well. We did,
but also we got some new mock images of some Ultimates, and it's funny. So I believe Now, I'm sure there's other people that are going to hit 3 real quick, but both Macho Man and Hogan are going to be at 3 Ultimates.
Yes.
They'll both have.
We did see both Macho Man Ultimate pictures. I forgot about that. We did see both.
The NWO one, and then the one from the early bird for Back in the Ring. Oh man, that looks amazing. I cannot wait.
Yeah, mine will be for sale.
Not keeping it.
No, I don't think so.
My Macho Man collection. I think I posted a picture on the Matt Madness Instagram page. Go check that out. I got damn near all of them, so I can't imagine chopping any of them out.
Yeah, because the rings they'll be shipping in August. Because I had to contact them to change the shipping address of my order. So they did say he actually gave me an approximate date, but we'll see if that actually goes early. So they are shipping out in August. But yeah, I forgot we did see both. The NWO one I love. I can't wait to get that in hand, so I don't have to find the elite version ever, so I can actually have that in my collection. And then, like the AEW figures, we saw the Supremes Minnow mock, so I'm pretty sure that I think those ship out late either July or August. So they seem to be pretty ready to go because they had the mock images. Well, they were not mock images. They were mock at the Fan Fest. So we'll see how they go. Cody looks fun. The Brit looks okay. I gotta see all 3 heads in person to judge them.
You didn't get the shop AEW Kenny, did you?
I got through online, and then when it was my turn, it said it sold out, but I didn't really care. I was just trying to flip it, but it was a shop figure. It wasn't going to flip for anything anyway, so I didn't really care.
Yeah, I was, first day of the new job, I didn't have good signal, and I never even got to get in the queue to wait in line, so it is what it is. I ended up with a bunch of Jerichos. This is my karma. Maybe I can trade one for it, but I believe it's just like his Unmatched 1 figure. But
it's just a T-shirt, and like if I got it, I probably would have just gave it to you anyway, but I didn't. I didn't get through. I didn't get through.
For the listeners at home, he really is sweet on me.
Did you get Series 9?
I actually went to order. I ordered it during Dynamite, but I think for some reason I added a couple things to my cart because it's still on back order. And then when I went to go finalize it, sometimes I don't know, you probably don't have this issue, but if you ever on ringside for a while, you put stuff in your cart,
it'll go away.
It clears out. Yeah. I think that's what happened. So I need to check my email. If not, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, so
and my plan is I'm going to order a complete set of 9, and then I'm also going to order a second Thunder Rosa in big prayer that they send me a chase.
Yeah, so for that I'll wait for them to go on sale because I'm not pressed for anybody in that set. So I'll wait for it to hit.
Full set of new characters. It's a no-brainer.
Because the cage looks the Brian cage looks a little off to me. I do really like the Hobbs with the snarl. I love the Hobbs. Mm-hmm. But the thing is if you get Hobbs, you gotta get Ricky. And I'm shocked that it didn't come with the FTW belt. I'm shocked.
Forbidden figures.
I'm shocked it didn't come with a free FTW championship. And I really do like the Thunder Rosa as well, but like I said, I'll wait for it to catch a sale on those. I'm not pressed for them.
Makes sense. What's the update on Punk? When's he shipping?
I believe it's at early June. I actually thought about that today. I have to check I haven't seen anybody post any shipping notifications, but I believe it was early to mid-June, so we should be hearing something.
I keep forgetting what else is in that set. Is that the one with the throwback Jericho, right?
That's the throwback Jericho, Jade, Cody in the suit with a long jacket.
Yeah.
And I forgot the other 2.
Bucks, maybe.
It wasn't the Bucks.
Well, eventually at some point, I'm sure I'm going to hunt that set down as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Darby LJN.
That might be the Darby LJN.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get much either myself lately. I grabbed a couple regular things. I did get the Bray Wyatt, the other new Fiend Ultimate, just because I think really at this point, Brett and The Rock are the only Ultimates I don't have. So
you didn't get Brett?
No, it was before I was going kind of complete on them all. So, yeah, it was back when like those were like going on sale.
Yeah, and you really slept on that rock.
Yeah, well, it was one of those you just didn't realize it was going to be what it is. I mean, the top picks is essentially it, but just not an ultimate. So.
Yeah, that rock is awesome.
Yeah, if the modern day Rock Ultimate wasn't tatted up, there would be some type of custom that could probably be done with switching it with the top picks. But either way, the top picks elite I do have, and I really like that one.
Okay. Yeah, so and you can get all these figures from Ringside Collectibles and use promo code MMAD to save 10% off your order.
With that being said, I'm going to have to place another order.
There you go.
And I'm sure by the time we are back here, I'm going to have a few new figures to talk about. But until then, this has been your boy, Eck2Fly, his best friend, ATM, A'Lo, Aaron Lloyd, the Eck and A'Lo connection. We are out. We will see you next time.